start
Wrong.
this?
Wrong. Oh my god. Oh.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Out of Memory. I'm AJ Hamilton with my guest host, Christopher Hampson. How's it going, Chris?
It's good. I like that I'm no longer a resident host and only a guest. I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah,
Don't kick me off the show.
You watch yourself. You just watch yourself through this episode.
You're on thin ice, mister.
Well, hey Chris, how's it been? How are you doing?
It's good. Hanging. It's good.
Good.
Oh,
Great.
Man, we're rusty at this.
No, come on. We're doing good. This is going well. People are entertained.
It is.
Yeah, definitely.
How is your post holidays going?
Oh, they're doing fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
You been doing anything cool? Just hanging around?
Just hanging out. Doing voiceover stuff and soaking up that chilly LA weather.
Gross.
Which is very weird. Yeah.
All I pictured was very thick and unsatisfying chili all around in LA, which is pretty much how I feel when I come back from LA. Is I'm covered with old chili.
Hey, there's a great place called Chili John's that is just delicious.
Is there? Really?
Yes, actually. Oh. Yeah, I'll take you.
Why is it so great? Is it with like chili dogs and chili burgers?
Oh, yeah, and even chili on spaghetti.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, anything that they could add to chili to like bring you that much closer to a heart attack while eating it.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's just this little down-home place, this tiny diner run by families and stuff like that. It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And I think they were on an episode of that Nathan Fillion show, Rookie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
No. Oh. But I think they were.
Okay.
No.
That's cool.
I think my dad does. Yeah, he did.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where I found it out, actually. Yeah.
It looks like a more ambitious castle where like the Fillion was already like pushing the limits of like his character's age and weight.
And now they're just writing that in as a feature.
Yeah, they're like, now he's a rookie cop. I can't wait until that show goes 5 seasons, gets canceled, and he's like, and then he went back to high school. Undercover janitor.
Nathan Fillion babies. Firefly babies. Speaking of 90s cartoons and stuff,
yeah,
right?
No.
That was when that was, right?
It was smooth.
Thank you.
I was if you're fishing for a segue, I was gonna say, yeah, I've just been watching a whole lot of like TV lately.
Me too. That's nice. Yeah. I have. Yeah, cool. What do you been watching, Chris? Topher?
I've been watching Punisher on Netflix.
Nice.
I've been wanting to check out some of the like Netflix produced cartoons though. Like there's a Godzilla one that kind of looks interesting. It's on its 3rd season. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't really. There are so many shows out right now that it just gets so hard to go to the children's section, the cartoons and different stuff like that. But
I don't know if I ever progressed very far mentally, so I think that's kind of where I start.
That's fair.
Something flashy and colorful and simple.
Yes, yeah.
I never start the Godzilla Netflix series though, just because like I feel scarred by some of the Godzilla series that have been out when like back in the I want to say like 90s or 2000s.
Oh, like the one that was based on the Matthew Broderick one, the 1999 one?
Exactly.
Oh, man. Where they were on the side of Godzilla, right? He was sort of like hanging out with them.
Yeah.
Wasn't that what was happening?
Yeah. I don't know if that's a throwback to like the 50s Godzilla cartoon or whatever. But it spirals me down like a whole rabbit hole of...
And Godzuki.
I don't know. Of course, Godzuki.
Yep.
I don't know if like... what was worse, some of the cartoons in 2000s or some of the cartoons that were in the 90s? Because I remember some real bad cartoons in
real
the 90s.
Stinkers. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I agree.
Some malodorous animations.
Well, but the funny thing is, if you don't do the things that we do and go back and re-experience that stuff, it all feels so nostalgic and so fun. Like that's what I was a child during. So watching all of those, I think we were talking about before where you'd wake up at like 6 a.m. and start watching the entire Saturday morning cartoon block. till 11 o'clock.
Well, and that was just on Saturdays, but there was a whole slew of like off-brand, awful cartoons at 6 a.m. on like a weekday.
Yeah.
I remember Fox, I think it was Fox, had one called like T-Rex, where it was a city of dinosaurs that like they had their own society. And it focused on 5. I want to say they were T-Rex. I guess they were T-Rex. It was called T-Rex.
Probably the Adventures of T-Rex. Yeah.
Yeah, but they were jazz singers by day, and then by night or whenever needed. Sometimes during the day, I guess. They were crime fighters. They were pretty much a cross between like Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers.
Wow.
But yeah, it like even through the heavy rose-colored glasses, which I have to believe exist in our minds purely as a survival tactic, not to hate ourselves for like.
Why were you like that?
How could this ever have been good? I was an idiot.
No, come on. We also watched Street Sharks and Crash Test Dummies.
Yeah, I don't know. What was the deal with the anthropomorphic oddities that was it just to sell toys?
It's got to have been. Yeah, I mean, think of a string of creatures, make them humans, and then make toys out of them. Absolutely.
Biker mice from Mars. Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Sure. Oh my God, yeah. Wow, I haven't thought of Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Didn't they have a comic book of that too?
I imagine that they had anything that they could possibly sell and push, and
it felt like they were trying to...
made from real cows.
Back in the day, before Cartoon Network sort of cornered the market on the whole cartoon thing, I feel like every single network, at least the base 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know, were trying to vie for the child watching thing, because they would have 3 hours in the morning and then almost 5 hours in the afternoon and then the Saturday morning shows. It was ridiculous.
Outside of cartoons, I don't remember very much from my childhood.
I would
cartoons and toys, and that was it.
I remembered Judge Judy coming on. She looked like Judge Judy. No, I would remember Judge Judy coming on after the last cartoon of the day, like at 5 o'clock, and I'd be, oh well, there's nothing
just
more
to, really
to watch
put a
now.
Bow on that like disappointment.
Kids, get out of the room.
Now adult shows, and the worst of all, Texas Court or whatever. I don't know what Judge Judy does. I've never seen it.
Oh my God. Well, do you want to talk about any of those shows at all, like Extreme Dinosaurs or King Arthur and the Knights of Justice?
Oh my God.
Something like that?
I haven't even thought about that. No, that's a lie. I have thought about that show. I probably monthly I think about King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, just because like there are things that stick out to me as being really awesome. Like and I think same with a lot of these anthropomorphic hero shows, where the intro is like so badass and it's animated so well, and you really do just sit there through the next like 19 and a half minutes of like shit animation and even worse commercials. But King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, yeah, didn't they all have like some kind of like powers? Like a guy would make like a log come out of his shield, or like a guy had I don't know. Like
they all had the lights in their shields, or not their shields, their armor or whatever. Yeah, that was a wild show. But you know what I want to talk?
Weren't they from the present times?
Yeah, they were actually an American football team led by their team captain was Arthur Knight, or no, Arthur King. Arthur King.
Oh, that's right. But they were the Knights football team.
That's right.
God, it was awful. Oh my God.
And then they got sucked back in time, because who else could help them? Of course.
Only American football team.
America. Fuck yeah. Oh man.
No.
But Chris, you know what show I want to talk about today?
Yes.
Do you?
The Pirates of Darkwater.
Oh, close. So close. Actually, I do want to talk about that someday. But the show that I want to talk about now is SWAT Cats.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, the Radical Squadron.
The Radical Squadron. It's taking the theme of T-Rex and it's pushing it to a new extreme, where instead of jazz, they're mechanics.
Exactly.
And instead of running around and stopping bank robbers, they're flying a fucking jet. Also, where did they get the jet from?
I don't know. They say they built it, but most of those characters back then had some sort of vehicle, obviously, for the toy purposes, but it was a little bit more realistic. Maybe not
That
super
one didn't
realistic,
feel
but
so much like it was just to push the toys. If anything, like the toys kind of felt more like an afterthought. But
that's true.
I don't know. That show was badass, and the animation was pretty solid, as I remember.
It did not differ too much from the intro, like you're saying. You know, you watch the intro of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they are just badass, like from the comic book, and then they get in and they're these doughy, sort of silly. Yeah. No, these guys actually kept their attitude through the whole show. And you're right, it was like the T-Rex show because everybody was cats, right?
I would like to stop comparing anything to that show. Like, how do we do a clean slate?
We're done.
Okay.
No more. Moratorium.
I can't get the theme song out of my head.
But no, this was not two odd cats within a human world. This was cats within a cat world. Didn't they have an April O'Neil, though?
Yes, and I believe her name was Calico Briggs, and I might still be in love with her.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah. No, I think I remember. Didn't she have the hair up, but then
sometimes, but she would let it go, and she had a very librarian looking feel to her.
That's
Is it
right.
hot in here? It was a little warm in here.
Yeah. Later. And the guys were, if I remember correct, Razor and T-Bone.
Jake? No. Oh yeah. So they had fighter pilot names like Top Gun style.
Yes, of
and
course.
I think you're right. I think it was Razor and T-Bone, and I think their real names were Chance and Jake.
Yeah. One was sort of a more large fellow. He wasn't fat. He was just like muscular. But he was kind of a goofy.
Let's call him Fluffy.
Yeah, there you go.
Because of all the fur.
And then the little slinky cat. But,
yes.
And then the bad guys. Do you remember any of the bad guys?
Yes, the cast of the bad guys was amazing. Yeah. And very distinctly, I remember, I want to say Dark Cat or Megakat. I can't remember. Actually, I guess I can't remember. There was also like a Bonnie and Clyde duo who later got turned into androids.
Oh, that's right.
Their name escapes me. But the Passmaster.
With the watch.
Yeah.
Was he the skeleton cat?
Yeah, he was like a little short, like Rumpelstiltskin skeleton cat with a hood.
I also remember a cat that had like a snake tail.
Yeah, he was kind of like a poison ivy. Yeah, I can't remember what his name was.
Poison ivy / lizard type of character, right? Yeah, because he was wearing a doctor's coat or something.
Yeah.
I always was confused. Was it Calico who got them connected to all the bad guys?
They refer to her as Callie.
Callie, that's right.
That's Miss Briggs to you.
Sorry. I actually don't remember why they would get involved in the situations that they did. Do you? Like they were just guys in a. They would always get pulled in randomly.
No, it was like a Batman situation where like shit was going down. Callie worked close to the mayor, who also was an amazing character. He was almost like I guess he was kind of like the mayor from Powerpuff Girls, where he's just like completely inept. But she would hear about shit going down, and then she had like a button to summon the SWAT cats, or she would like radio into them, and then like they would go and they go save her because the red phone was flashing.
Was there also a like a general dude?
Yeah. I don't remember his name, but he was always calling for chopper backup.
Yeah. And he was kind of like I don't like these guys the way they work, but I respect them at the end.
Yeah, he feels like a Paul Newman type like authority figure. And I want to say he was the one that like fired them from the chopper defense force, or I don't know what the fuck the chopper backup proper name is.
Did they just steal? They must have just stole a plane, right? That must be how they did it. They couldn't have made it out of junk.
No, they worked at a scrapyard.
Right.
They worked at a scrapyard, and they had like the SWAT tank and stuff like that, which could go underwater and shit like that. And I think that also their jet could eject a motorcycle, like Batman style.
Yeah, of course. Of course. And did they have weapons themselves? I remember them having something on their glove, right?
Yeah, they called it a glovatrix or something like that. And I know it sounds stupid, but like all the gadgets that would come out of there, it was pretty much like a weaponized Batman's utility belt.
Of course.
Like, I don't know, like bolos and tacks and like a claw that would shoot out and stick enemies to the wall. But
anything that you needed at the time.
Man,
they were good inventions.
That reminds me, that really inspired a lot of like things I would build in like Lego. Not only like vehicles and stuff, but like I even built like glovatrix for like my little Lego guys. God, this sounds like very nerdy to say out loud.
No, stop.
I hope no one's listening.
We should have stopped a while ago then. I don't know if when we do the research portion, if I'm going to feel the same, but I feel like of all of the reboots that they've done, this deserves one.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, I think I would probably even... I think I would like it even if the original doesn't hold up. I feel like somebody could reinvent it and make it cool still.
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally see that. Because the as I remember, the animation was good. I think it was kind of very heavy on shadows, like a Johnny Quest style.
Or a Batman.
Or a Batman. But like it was very inventive. The plots seemed to make sense, at least as I'm remembering it.
Sure.
Miss Briggs, so hot.
Yeah. And it was, you know what was cool about this show was that it wasn't a team. It wasn't a big, huge, like 4 or 5 guy team. It was just these 2 guys.
Much more focused.
Yeah. Where you didn't have to give everyone a line. It was just banter back and forth between these age-old friends, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Like us.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're pretty much the SWAT cats of the nostalgia podcast world, I would say. Definitely. Should we come up with Top Gun names for ourselves also?
Yeah, that'll be in the research phase.
Yeah, okay.
We'll tell you who we are. Top Gun names.
Yep.
It's fine. It's fine. Also, the toys I remember being very limited. Like you were saying, I don't think
I don't remember them very well at all.
No, and this didn't last too long, did it?
I would think that maybe it either got 1 long season or maybe 2, but yeah, it didn't feel like it was on too long. Because I think that one Super Chunk, if you're familiar with Cartoon Network, the Super Chunk was pretty much they gave like one show an 8-hour marathon or a 4-hour marathon or something like that, and I think that covered most of the episodes.
Yeah, I think so. That was just super sad, but I think it was on so much that I thought it was longer.
Yeah.
Because every time I would they would show one every week or something, sometimes if it wasn't on the Super Chunk, and you'd be like, oh my God, this is one that I haven't seen in a while. And of course it was because it was so rare.
I also feel like there was an animation change that happened like halfway through their production. Like it was still good all the way through, but there was like subtleties that definitely like changed about it.
Interesting. We'll have to watch for that.
Yeah.
And I really want to know if this show was created by anybody who we enjoyed other products.
I would imagine so, because I think that the voice acting was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, and the directors and producers, whoever they were, perhaps they went on to create stuff.
Yeah.
You
know what the most disappointing thing about doing the research is on these animations is that
what's that?
Whoever was like the hot or like the love interest. I keep saying hot. I know it's a cartoon. And I also know they're animals. Whoever the love interest is, when we do the research on this, they're always like far older than I thought they were at the time of recording. I'm like, oh, got it. I'm just attracted to old lady voices, I guess.
You know what? That's the magic.
The heart wants
what
the heart wants,
and the ears want what the boner wants.
Good,
right?
Yeah, of course. So I do all my listening. What do you think my headphones are on right now? Say that slower.
I am really excited to look into this series and re-experience them, because it's been quite a while. I'm excited about this.
I can honestly say that I haven't seen an episode of SWAT Cats for at least 12 or 15 years, I think.
Yeah, probably in the early 2000s at latest, yeah.
Yeah. Damn, I'm excited for that.
Cool,
yeah,
man.
Where's our SWAT Cat movie? How dare Transformers get like 7 shitty movies?
And nobody's even touching the SWAT Cats. Come on, guys.
Low-hanging fruit, guys.
God. People have you seen YouTube? People love cats. Go, make, do.
See, that is where I'm scared, though, is that like they do like what they're doing with the Lion King, where like it's all real animals now. Why are they doing that?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's kind of just a cash grab, isn't it?
I don't
just
they're
like Beast,
like
Beauty and the Beast, and
live action Aladdin and live action Lion King at the same time.
Yep, pretty much.
I didn't ask for either of those.
We had good ones.
Yeah,
They were
right?
done.
Like, no, I don't know. I guess it's a complete tangent, but like, why is The Lion King so under-released by Disney? Like, what lawsuit happened there where they're just like not promoting that at all? Because I feel like that was their best animated movie that they put out.
Yes, yeah, it was huge. It was at the time it was revolutionary, I think. And I don't know. I think there's a following to it, and I think it will obviously get a rebirth in the next year. Lion Afterbirth. Think about that.
It
well,
definitely gets eaten. All
right. Yeah, let's do some research, Chris.
Yeah, if anyone's still out there, stick around.
All right. Bingo.
Bingo.
I think that's what they said, wasn't it?
I don't know. I think we should make up a catchphrase for him.
To infinity and the sky. Right?
Clawsome.
That actually sounds like it would have been something. Clawsome.
Yeah, clawsome. I guess it's taking like the street charge jawsome.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You
Tell me
it.
about it. No.
Clodical. No.
I have fleas. No.
Chris, you got to take care of that.
Cat AIDS.
Oh.
No.
Let's do research.
Let's do research. Cat AIDS.
Perfect.
Got it.
Good.
Out of memory.
All right, we are back with Lieutenant Christopher Gorilla Hampson and Lieutenant AJ Talon Hamilton. How are you doing, man?
Man, I'm not feeling very gorilla-like.
No?
Yeah, I
Your
mean,
facial hair. Come
look,
on.
it's what the Top Gun name generator spat out for us. So at least we're both the same rank.
Yeah, exactly. No, Lieutenant. Well, that's your British showing.
Yeah.
Well, guess what we did, everybody? We went and re-experienced SWAT cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was pretty awesome.
Oh, hell yeah. It is awesome to the extreme, my friend.
I'm pretty jealous that you somehow just had the DVDs for SWAT Cats. You're able to just watch it without any kind of lag. I had to watch it on Daily Motion, which is not recommended. I tried to purchase it though.
Oh, you did?
And it wasn't available for like some kind of reason. But like, Google Play wouldn't let me buy it.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. But I watched the first disc, I watched the last disc just to get a feeling of where it went throughout the whole span of I think how many episodes did you look that up?
I think it's like 23. No, it is. It's definitely 23.
Okay. That's right.
I think 2 of the episodes are 2-parters, so technically it's 25.
25-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, across 2 seasons, 2 short seasons, which fine. Make your season shorter if you're going to make the episodes good, like
totally
Cats did.
Yeah.
Instead of crazy, like Ninja Turtles did. Did they have like 60 episode seasons or something crazy?
Oh yeah. That a lot of cartoons back in the 90s did that because for some reason they wanted a new episode every week, which is, I mean, 65
That's more weeks than what's in the year, but
no, you're right. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not sure what constituted a season back then. You know what I mean?
It's a Mars season. I don't know.
We also weigh a lot less. Anyway, yeah, so we did a lot of research. It came out
really?
in
we did a lot of research?
I don't know. Did we?
I'd say a mild amount of research.
The
average amount of research.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like Arrested Development. We didn't
God, no.
Kill ourselves.
Yeah, this was more bite-sized. Yeah, no, exactly. 23 episodes. It originally aired September 11th. 1993.
By the way, sorry to jump in here, but in the intro to season 1, when they are panning and showing Megakat City in one of the first frames, it shows that Megakat City has twin towers.
Yeah. This was definitely New York, right?
Yes. Just going back to the September 11th.
Yeah. Well, they had no idea what was coming 8 years later.
And all of the bad guys were terrorists.
Oh my God, yeah. Bioterrorists.
Cyber
terrorists, yeah,
time
exactly.
Terrorists.
Oh.
Plant terrorists.
Zombie Terrorists.
So, was there zombies?
Well, Passmaster is technically a zombie
Yes,
because he has like showing
he calls himself
bones.
an immortal,
I
but
guess
I don't know.
I don't know. He's a weird dude, and it only lasted.
Ghost terrorists.
Mega War 2 terrorists.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to talk about Mega
Me
War
too.
2.
It's bizarre. But September 1993, and the last episode aired
Which day?
September 11th, 1993, and it lasted until December 24th, Christmas Eve, in 1994.
Ouch.
And it was showing on TBS, actually.
Yeah, I was very surprised because I had only ever encountered it on Cartoon Network, which I guess actually was the resurgence of it.
That was the syndication of it, you know. That was when people started watching it more. Well, they realized that it had some worth to it, and in '94 they knew it had worth to it because it was the number one syndicated animated show that year.
Shit.
Yeah,
Bam. Take that to the bank, mild, comfortable research.
yeah. So I just wanted to jump in with the theme song.
All right, go ahead. Well, that's pretty good, actually.
There are only 2 words spoken in it the entire time. Chance says, "All right," and Jake says, "Yeah." And that's it. Like, it's so funny to me that every other show at the time had these really complicated lyrics, like Ninja Turtles or just anything was basically describing what the show was about. And this one let the visuals do it themselves.
And it did a fantastic job. Now, to be clear, the theme song you just did was only season 1.
That's
season
very
2
true.
has a completely different one and a way more badass intro.
Well, do you know who did the music for season 1?
I do from the notes that are in front of me.
It's Brian May of Queen.
Yeah, that I was
Which is so
surprised to see
crazy,
that.
man.
That's fucking awesome. And then season 2 was done by who?
I'm
We don't know.
not sure who did it in that time, but it had a different feel to it. Definitely.
It had a different feel to it. Instead of like kind of going from 0 to 60, it just kind of starts you at like 45 and then goes to like 1,000.
Well, they kind of wanted a more Metallica and AC/DC sound, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think it was influenced by Top Gun?
Oh, hell yeah, it was. Even from, I would probably say more so the show in itself, not the theme. But the show, season 1, definitely heavily like leans into the tracks that they develop and they play throughout the show.
Yes.
But yeah, very Top Gun themed. Not only the action music, which is kind of just like guitars riffing as they're flying around, but also like the somber times. Like it really is a callback and a nod to Top Gun, I guess.
Oh, definitely. Well, I'm glad none of them went the way of the goose. Spoiler, neither of them die.
Cats.
Yeah, man.
I'll be honest too. I thought that this show was going to lean a lot more on the cat humor, and they don't, which is fine. It keeps it a better show.
Yeah, it's not distracting.
It's not. It is subtle.
It's super
like still some of it goes over my head. I'm sure that like every single name that's in the show like is some kind of derivative of a cat or cat family.
Of course.
I just haven't.
Yeah.
We did mild research. We didn't spend the time to look up each and every one and like completely understand
naturally
the etymology here.
No, but it is jam packed. I mean, the first couple of lines, one of the bad guys says, "Hey, Tom, don't be a scaredy cat." Like Tomcat, scaredy cat. My God.
Yeah. But it's not distracting.
No.
Yeah. They don't stick with it. Yeah. The first and second season, I don't know if we want to talk about that now, but like they definitely have different feels, not only in the theme, but also in the animation itself and just the tones, I would say as well.
Yeah, I would agree. Actually, the reason that it feels different animation-wise is that they actually started out with 2 animation companies. And the first animation company got to do, I think, 3 or 4 of the episodes. And then they liked that company so much that they hired them on to do the rest of second season.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they would have switched. Which one did you like better?
Definitely the latter. And I completely agree with the creators on that. And it always bugged me as a kid, and I know I brought it up in the first segment. Is like there's definitely a switch in the animation. Yeah. Where the first one it's a lot lighter on the shadowing. Okay. As well as the character designs. Everyone is a lot more rounded.
It's very Hanna-Barbera.
It's very Hanna-Barbara.
Yeah.
And I would even say it almost like starts to lean more into the Ninja Turtles animated show area, where
Agreed.
it visually is a lot safer. Whereas when you get that relaunch of it or that second company, things are very angular,
Sharp.
very
Yeah.
heavy tones with shadowing. I think we even said that it looks very like Johnny Quest almost.
Johnny
They're just,
Quest
they
and
really push on that black marker when they're doing the outlines.
Yeah, definitely. It almost feels, especially the opening, feels almost anime. You know, in the movements and the.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
It absolutely does. And I think that it only improves all of the action sequences as well as the ones that are a little bit more subtle, just visually. But yeah, when things start moving fast, they're not afraid to kind of push the forms a little bit, get a little bit like blurry.
Yeah.
And it only adds to it. It's really, really pleasing.
Yeah, the second company that took over was actually called Mook's Animation, or Mook Co.
Oh,
from,
yeah, Mook
from
Co.
Japan.
Muko.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know them.
Anyway.
I don't know, but I do appreciate them. I'm still
yeah.
I'm very blown away that this was actually produced in 1993. Mm-hmm. Like the animation is so good. I mean, I would have, having not known anything about it, I would have said that this came out in the 2000s. Kind of like with the relaunches of like Master of the Universe or Thundercats. Like it looks that good.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, it was ahead of its time, and it was just sadly bungled, man.
Let's kind of wrap it up with the downfall.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's bring it down at the end.
Yeah.
Are you a Chance or a Jake?
You know, honestly, I think I'm probably true to character, more of a Jake.
Okay, yeah.
But I did like Chance better as a kid watching this growing up.
Yeah, I definitely think I'd be more a Chance, actually. So it's perfect. I think
okay.
it works. No,
Nice work, Talon.
Roger that. So these two guys don't get an origin story in the first episode. You actually have to wait until the third episode, which is the Dark Cat episode, to find out how they came to be the junkyard cats that they are.
Sure.
They were actually part of the enforcers, the paramilitary cops in the city, which is, it actually has some super weird undertones.
It has
of like a police
huge
state
implications. And now that we're talking about this, I don't think that we can't not talk about Mega War 2.
Okay, yeah.
So jumping way ahead, there's an episode which, oh man, this is pulling in like so many different notes. So I appreciate the show, and I think the writing is really well balanced for the most part. I think that plot wise, the inciting incident is sometimes totally bogus and ridiculous. Like lightning hits the turbo cat when they're flying it around, when they're testing out a new dimensional radar system, and it puts them into a different dimension.
Naturally.
Well, in the one that I'm referring to, that they like totally focus, and they say like Mega War 2 like 5 times.
Yes.
They the crane operator is digging for who the fuck knows what in like the bay of Megakat City.
Of course.
And pulls up a old like biplane and immediately knows what it is. He's like, oh, this is the Red Lynx's amazing plane from Mega War 2. And the Mega War 2 comes up like several times. Anyway, they pull up this plane, and that's enough to bring back the spirit of the Red Lynx.
Right.
Who,
voiced,
from your notes, says it's voiced by Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill, man. Yes.
Yeah. So I
he actually also voices the cameraman that's always following Angora.
Oh, no
around.
way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's such a subtle role.
It is.
But for one, I wanted to watch that just because it was Mark Hamill. I just wanted to see like what his performance in that. But yeah, that episode is kind of bogus just because they're fighting a ghost
in a physical plane.
I don't know. Like most of the reasons are better than that. But I couldn't let it go that they talked about Mega War 2.
Yeah.
And so this biplane is from Mega War 2, which I feel more aligns with our World War 1. The biplanes, right?
It did feel like that.
Even like how the Red Lynx was dressed, like it looked very like World War 1.
Well, and biplanes, yeah, of course that would be World War 1.
But this is Mega War 2. So does that mean they had a Mega War 1 even before that? Like they're more ahead of our timeline as far as war goes. And I would even argue that they have had a Mega War 3 or 4 purely based on their paramilitary run state of Megakat City. If their police enforcement, which looks like they run pretty much everything, has tanks, militarized helicopters, jets,
and
I guess just like armed guards, like with like assault rifles walking
everywhere.
the streets all the fucking time.
Also,
that kind of advancement doesn't come from just like peaceful times.
No,
usually
not at
that's
all.
a military advancement and probably has to do with a coup. So are cats just more violent than humans? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Also, oh my God, was Mega War 1 when the cats took over?
Maybe, because there were dinosaurs, as we know
That's
from this
true.
first episode that you're talking about.
Exactly.
When the past master brings like a Tyrannosaurus and pterodactyls through this fucking time portal.
Oh my God, that just, like, what if?
I spent too much time thinking about this. Like, it really
Same.
bugged me. It really fucking bugged me. Why couldn't it have been from Mega War 1? Why couldn't it?
Right? I don't know. Because in the timeline, that would have made sense. And, like, also, apparently, the mayor's grandfather was in Mega War 2.
It was his
Right?
great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather, okay.
So let's even say that, like, 5 or 6 generations have passed.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I would think so,
Not
yeah.
that long. And to go from biplanes to not only militarized tanks and helicopters in the street,
Yeah.
but also the SWAT cats having the know-how of getting scrap metal, which has to be similar parts to build an F-14 Harrier jet
Right.
hybrid
Yeah, exactly.
like pretty easily.
Well, and the thing about that is that also F-14 Tomcat, right?
That yes, yes.
But
Yes.
the crazy thing is they say in one of the episodes that it is a military dumping ground or a military dump that they're working at or rec yard.
I want to say that's where the humans' last stand was.
Agreed.
It's all human junk. Maybe because the enforcers don't have jets like that. They have
No.
like kind of smaller, like future looking jets.
Yes.
But they don't have an F-14
No.
or Harrier jet, which is very indicative of human military weapons.
That's very interesting. I think I agree with you that it might have been the last stand because who built that underground arena that they live in?
It's a catspiracy.
That thing is nuts. There is a danger room, like in X-Men.
Yeah.
There are testing rooms where they can go up to 10 Gs or something like that. That thing is massive underground. And
Yeah.
I don't think that two guys, one being not a tech genius, could have built all of that by themselves. So I
No.
think you're right. I think they accidentally, like, there's a missing episode where they discovered the dead bodies.
There's
of,
several. Yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
they're like, what are these?
What are these
I want it to be a
humans?
complete cover up too. Like humans like never existed, but cats really have only been in control and anthropomorphic for like, I don't know, 100 years or 200 years or something like that. Enough to have Mega War 5 and 6.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and also the weirdest thing is, she's a very small part, but well, not a small part actually, but Dr. Sinian, that doctor who's always there.
Yes,
she
yes.
knows everything about everything.
She knows magical lore.
Yeah.
She knows museum shit.
Science.
I don't know what else. Science. Yeah, she's in science lab sometimes.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
These cats are crazy with their science. Like that one where they invent a flying robot that just like repairs things, but it starts to assimilate everything. It
Oh,
goes
dude.
and steals a space mega surgical laser, which they were going to launch into orbit so they could take out earthquakes. Or make them. I don't know. We don't know if there are still humans that they need to eradicate or not.
Oh my God. Well, there's definitely aliens.
Yes.
They expand in the second season with the fact that there are a lot of alien races, some being cats.
Yes.
Some being
And
cat races.
I also appreciate that they don't stick with just one city. They go outside of Megakat City to Pumadine.
Yeah, of course they do.
Apparently, Pumadine is where all the science happens. Like whenever like they need to go get something to fix shit that's happening in Megakat City, they go to Pumadine.
And I love that NASA in their world is Megakat Aerospace and Science Association or something like that.
That's massa.
Massa, yeah, Massa. I don't know. We keep joking about them, but there are. Can I just list off the weird cat jokes?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so Megakat City's one, obviously. Some quotes are like, shredding them like a scratching post. Don't be such a scary cat. Constantly mentioning 9 lives.
Yes.
Cat's Eye News. Love
String
it.
you up by your tail.
Yep. David Letterbin. is
that's really good.
Their host. Oh my God, their late night host.
That's really good.
Farrell looks like he hasn't hit the litter box in a week. There are some actually like adult-ish jokes. Like he's like, oh dude, that dude's constipated.
There's a lot of things that are implied. Also, like I have definitely seen scenes where like someone has died. Like a homeless guy gets killed by like a swamp monster.
Oh yeah,
because it pans back and he just screams as the thing like obviously was killing him.
Yeah, and one of the doctors gets eaten. Yeah,
all the women have super curvy bodies.
Oh well, of course, it's 1993. I mean, that's what animators were doing back then. There's
still saying Callie looks pretty good though.
Dr. Viper. He doesn't get an origin story until near the end of the second season, which is super weird. Yeah. I still don't understand that because it's not like it was shown out of order. But he's always looking for catalysts. Spelled that way, 99. They would always say "cat's alive." Not over till the fat cat sings. Holy cats! Catnip from Catmandu is actually cocaine. They imply that.
Yes.
It was amazing. Alcatraz is their prison.
That's right.
They drink milk instead of beer. Like
I have seen that.
Or maybe it's soda, but whatever.
No, because Mayor Manx christens the Blue Manx jet with a bottle of milk.
That's right.
No, I think you're right. I think it's alcohol.
I was sure we had bought the big litter box this time. Well, look what the cat dragged in.
Yeah, can't go without that one.
And, let Farrell pussyfoot around out here. We're going in.
I'm surprised they were allowed to say pussy. Actually, I'm surprised that they weren't allowed to say pussy more.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
I love the fact that...
And cunt.
You were talking about how the paramilitary thing is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. And yet they lose like 3 vehicles or more an episode.
Farrell needs chopper backup.
And
honestly, I think maybe
people jumping out of
pretty
tanks.
weak, and they train their cats really like shitty, just so they can keep up funding. Like
cannon fodder.
The military needs all this funding because we just lost 3 choppers an episode.
Pretty much, but they always invest in what are they called?
Lasers.
No.
Back scratchers.
Damn it.
What are you doing? I see you motioning like that. What is that? Bowflex.
Parachutes.
Parachutes. Okay.
Because every single time it's either 2 guys dragging the other one out of a tank or somebody jumping out of a parachute. But not always. You don't always see them.
Sometimes they just die.
Just crunch. Yeah.
That is something that I did want to bring up is the cat code. Is that even down to the SWAT cats.
Yeah.
They don't have a Spider-Man or Batman style of code that they fight by where they don't use guns, obviously, and they don't kill, because the SWAT cats have definitely tried to go in for the kill on some of their arch nemesis every once in a while. If you push them too far, they're just like, oh, well, fuck you. They killed their alternate dimensional selves.
That's true. Yeah. Those guys were gone.
Yeah.
That was kind of an awesome episode.
It was interesting. Yeah.
It was fine. It was just sort of out of nowhere, but it had a different flavor to it, so I was happy that I watched that one.
I think that most of the Dr. Viper and Passmaster episodes are like pretty good.
Yeah. Dark Cat never got an origin. And he seemed, what I did hear that there was. They make him out
to seem like he is like the boss, but like he doesn't really do very much.
What I heard, if it had continued on, I heard that if they had given him an origin story, he was going to have an alter ego that was a judge in the city, which kind of.
My name is Judge.
My name is
Judge.
And he was going to be, I wish he had been fleshed out. I wish he had kind of been, I guess they did the gangster thing with the Metallicats, but he could have been like a gang. I don't know. He just sort of stepped on the Passmaster in a way that he felt magical as well. So just 2 guys in cloaks.
I had a theory.
Okay.
And that was because I'm pretty sure that I've seen Dark Cat with a cane. Maybe once or twice.
I think so.
In the first episode of SWAT Cats, they introduced Farrell with a cane. So I thought maybe,
Oh my
maybe
God.
Feral was Dark Cat. That would have been pretty awesome.
You know what would have been fascinating is if he was Feral from the future.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Way into the future, and he had like mangled himself in a fight or something like that. He came back. He was trying to fuck shit up. Every bad guy, it was a bad guy of the week, sort of monster of the week type show.
I like that they hang a lampshade on that.
Definitely,
or a cat shade. I don't know.
It's made out of cat skin. Cat gut. Anyway.
They do not stick to the cat thing properly.
No, it's very
They bring back a saber-toothed
uneven.
tiger and they fucking freak out and they run from it like it's a monster.
And then they shoot cement at it.
Yes.
And kill it.
They kill it.
It is dead.
They pretty much do.
Well, yeah, but it's funny. Yeah, they do say, well, what is this? The monster of the week again? But the stakes are so high.
Yes.
They're going 100 miles an hour. They're going at speed of heat.
Yeah, speed of heat. That's why they have the heat shield on the Turbo Cat.
That's right. Do you want to talk about the Turbo Cat?
I want to talk about everything. I want to talk about everything that has to do with all of their gadgets, because these guys.
This was
like the show. The show
yeah.
is badass, but it definitely is like their power is it's the convenience of having the technology randomly. It's like an infinite like. It's almost like they have the Allspark, and I hate to reference a Michael Bay movie, and especially that one, but it's like whenever they need the shit, they just kind of have it. Like the when the city gets flooded and the Turbo Cat's going down, they eject their seats in Sea-Doos.
Well, which is called actually the jet ski missile.
Yeah, of course, it's the jet ski missile. But even down to like their glovatrix, it's like any technology they have is like equivalent to Batman's utility belt. It just has what they need at that moment.
It has shark repellent
because they have awesome shit in it.
Yeah. But there's one episode where I actually like when they get out of the Turbo Cat, because sometimes it feels very. It's like the wrong vehicle to have in a city, except for the fact that it is a Harrier jet. Or has that type of thing.
Yes.
But Jake separates from the Tomcat and goes into the huge, tall tower that they've created, and it's been taken over by Dr. Viper's plants.
Of course.
And he has some of the crazy... He obviously has the glovatrix, and he's shooting like grappling hooks and stuff like that. But he also has a blade gun that shoots blades at the wall, and it cuts out a perfect circle for him to jump through.
Yes.
Of course.
That's the kind of shit I'm talking about.
Electro grenades and shit like that. I mean, dude, it's just endless.
It comes down to their skill being convenience. Like I said, like it leans heavily on the technology, but sometimes like he walked up to a door and he was like, ah, crap, it's locked. And then he's like, he just kicks it open. He's like, oh, well, there you go.
Perfect.
Like, oh, okay. Nothing can stop you guys.
You know what it kind of reminded me of is James Bond Jr. Because they constantly had those gadgets.
Yes, dude. Yes. And you know what really pisses me off, because it has such a likeness to James Bond Jr. And I imagine maybe the animation style is probably kind of on the same level.
Yeah, I would say.
But their merchandising of SWAT Cat sucks.
Well, yeah.
Like, James Bond Jr. had a shitload of vehicles,
transforming
and
little
characters.
things, and
even the stoner that was a skateboarder with a skull on his shirt had a toy. I had it.
Oh, that's right.
Gordo.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They actually only made 4 figures: Jake, Chance, Dr. Viper, and Dark Cat. And if you've seen any of these,
they're not great.
They're not great. Dark Cat is the tiniest one, man. It looks like they started trying to make Passmaster, and then they were just like, paint him purple.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
And I think
they never even made
like
a
5
vehicle.
points of articulation.
Yeah, of course.
No, I
and
think
maybe
there's a Turbo Cat, right?
No, there's not.
I could have swore there was.
There isn't. I looked on eBay. I looked all over the place. They never made any of the vehicles. Like, can you imagine the merchandise? In fact,
I would buy it today.
Yeah, me too.
It was good.
Sadly, Carl's Jr. and White Castle got a hold of the Happy Meal rights.
Great.
And if you've ever gone or studied any of those...
Just what a cat loves to eat. Burgers.
Well, with catsup. But they did like toy vehicles and figures, but they were like one color. Do you remember those toys where it was like, we pressed them out of plastic, but we didn't bother painting them? You get the idea, kid.
Yes. Paint it yourself, or just pretend.
Yeah. I think they actually did have Pogs.
Of course.
Of them, which of course they did. And AIM developed a 1995 Super Nintendo game, and it was released by Hudson Soft. And I actually watched a speed through of it, and it's fine for the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's better than Tailspin. It's better than Tailspin.
Which is funny because one of the artists worked on that worked on this.
On Tailspin?
Yes.
I mean, Tailspin's a great show, but like, it made a shitty video game. The SWAT Cats game could have been awesome.
It really could have. It looks like 2 years.
It looks like a Nintendo game.
Earlier. Yes. Yeah, that's what I was going to. Yeah. No, but going back to the turbojet, I just love the list of missiles and the cyclotron.
Oh, yeah. The cyclotron, of course.
Dude, seriously, so many opportunities. Also, in the later seasons, they had the Thunder Truck, the Turbo Mole, a hovercraft, and a boat.
The hovercraft, yeah. What was the hovercraft? It was like the Turbo Hover or something.
Of course. No, it was like Mega. Everything was Mega. Everything had Mega in the front of it.
Or Turbo.
Or Turbo. There were like Spider missiles, Octopus missiles, Cutter, Megavolt, Baby Boomer.
What is that?
I don't remember. I think it just boomed.
It's a birthing machine. Because cats have litters.
Yeah, exactly. Scrambler missiles, that was 1,000,000 megavolts. Mole missiles, Piranha, Shark, Decoy, plain old. Oh, I love this one. The plain old missile. And it has do you remember that?
Yeah.
It has From Razor with Love written on it. And then like X-ray beams, smoke screens, ejector seats, aiming goggles. I love the aiming goggles.
You know what that show feels like? It feels like two boys playing with toys.
Yeah.
They're just like, no, I'm going to use my cement gun. Oh, yeah, I'm going to fire some octopus missiles at you. Well, this time this has like slicers that come out of like this side of it.
Yeah.
They just slice a perfect hole and I'm going to jump in, okay?
Well, sometimes they just had a razor that came out of one of their wings and it would cut a line that they were flying by. And I was like, you could not have planned for that.
It's like, how?
Stop it. The whole
giant buzz blades in there
everywhere.
How much do you think the Turbo Cat weighs with all the shit that they put
I know. I mean,
because it also has a mega laser that the nose piece opens up and it just fires like a big laser out the front. And like, where's the engine supposed to go? It holds
a motor. Oh, and there's 3 engines on it.
And the jet skis and a motorcycle.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, man. It can go into space. Bless you.
It's got the heat shield.
Yeah. Oh, who was your favorite bad guy?
Honestly, I think probably Dr. Viper, just because he had the most notorious plans and like he made the most sense. Like Passmaster, like cool shit happened when he came around, but he was kind of a dingus.
And what was his aim?
His intentions didn't really make sense to me. But like Dr. Viper, he's just trying to make everything like plants and swampy and shit like that. Like, okay, I get what you're trying to do. And he made himself grow into a giant monster in one episode. Oh, goddamn.
Like he had great henchmen. I really liked like the giant mushroom head guy, and it was creepy too because he clearly transformed humans into these, or not humans, cats into those.
What is a human?
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, there were no dogs in this show at all. Like no mention of dogs, right?
That's very true. Not that I saw.
Even when they go to the giant pyramid thing, there's no like dogs, right?
No, but that's again the weird thing of
maybe that's what Mega War was about.
Oh, cats versus dogs.
Yeah.
They're gone. Ooh, that means the cats are like history is written by the victors.
Well, actually, no. Mega War 2 actually is implied that it was cat versus cat.
That's true.
Because the Red Lynx was on the wrong side, as they call it.
And did he sound a little German to you?
Okay, and that was my other problem with that is where is the wrong side from? Because he sounded Swedish sometimes, sometimes Russian.
Yeah.
Dutch? I don't know. Like,
regardless, I love Mark Hamill, but
yeah, I know it. Yeah,
you know what was interesting about? I really liked the Metallicats. I loved those guys. I
didn't like the Metallicats, but
really,
please continue. Yeah.
Dude, they murdered people.
They did.
They murdered their old gang. It was amazing. Like they just his cigar. What's his name? Max Cigar. he threw it in there, and it was a grenade, and it exploded, and like they said, hey, let's help the survivors out, which means there are people that didn't survive.
That's true.
Which is crazy.
Yes.
You know what they did? You know what's funny is there's an analog to a lot of DC and Marvel bad guys. Like Dr. Viper is kind of like Spider-Man's the Lizard. The Metallocats are kind of like Metallo from Superman.
Okay, sure. Dark Cat is very dark side.
Yeah, exactly. And with the Creeplings, those little bat goons that he had.
But I want to make it very clear that Mad Cat is not the Joker.
Yes.
He is just an idiot. He's got like Toy Master.
Yeah, it was, but I loved Mad Cat, actually. It was such a bizarre episode where he's turning into all these different things and eating everyone, and then he just exploded and
Don't you eat your toys too?
That was the episode with David Litterbin.
Nice.
It was great because he was like a stand-up that met an old jester who was trapped in it. How insane is that? I want to meet the Tremblays, the creators of this.
Yeah.
Because what was going on in their brains was insane. Since we've been talking about Mark Hamill already, let's do my segment. Can we do my segment of who guessed what that was? And that guy voice is that other guy.
Is that the theme song to it now? Guess who that was? That was a guy, and he was also this other guy. Cat's alive.
So Chance was played by Charlie Adler, who was also Buster Bunny and Ickis from All Real Monsters, which is cool. Jake was Barry Gordon, who is Donatello and Bebop.
He's also the Quick Rabbit, I think.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I didn't see that on his IMDb, but they don't really put that shit on there necessarily. Mad Cat, though, like we were talking about, Roddy McDowell.
Oh, the wrestler.
No, that's Roddy Piper.
Got it.
This guy was a classically trained Shakespearean actor. Anyway,
what else has he done?
He was actually he was a couple of bad guys in Gargoyles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Was he Macbeth?
No, unfortunately, that was. Who was that? Go back to our
Roddy
other
Piper.
episode. Yeah, that's the one.
You have to listen to that episode.
Oh no, it's Rhys Davies.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
I'm really bad with actors.
Jonathan Rhys Davies from And My Axe. He's Gimli.
Oh,
anyway.
No fucking way. Oh,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Go back and watch listen to the Gargoyles episode. It's
yeah. Really Callie was Tress MacNeille, who's
so hot.
Mom from
so hot.
From Futurama and many
Not as
voices
hot.
on The Simpsons. Yeah, that's very true.
Some of them are hot.
Dr. Viper was the original Megatron, Frank Welker.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mayor Manx doing a weird Irish impression of W.C. Fields.
So weird, man. Weird.
That was Jim Cummings.
He does a lot of
so
supplemental characters.
Yes, and he was also Winnie the Pooh. I mean, from 1988 on. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Do you remember Hard Drive?
No.
One of the bad guys was named Hard Drive, and he could do a bunch of weird. What was it? I think it was he was like Electro. He could jump into different hard drives and
oh shit.
Yeah. But that was Rob Paulson, who's done everything from
Hellboy.
Yakko. Damn
Sorry,
it!
Stop.
Yakko from Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain,
Nice.
among many others. Yeah, no, it's just full of. Oh, and Mutilor, one of the aliens, was played by Worf, Michael Dorn.
Nice.
Of course.
Nice.
Oh, and the original Space Ghost played Farrell.
But not
Gary,
Coast to Coast.
Gary Owens. No, that guy was Lord something. Can't remember.
Oh, he's in SWAT Cats also?
No, he's not, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
The original Space Ghost.
Okay, got it.
And finally, last but not least, we have Angora, the newscaster, and she was played by Candy Milo, who also played Dexter from Dexter's Lab and a bunch of other stuff. But she is one of my personal friends. She's pretty cool. And that's the end of my episode of Who the Hell Was That Guy?
By the way, our theme song for What's AJ Talking About is up for an Emmy. So,
written and performed by Chris.
okay.
Yep. Anyway,
Tacking on to that, do you want to talk about the creators?
Oh, sure.
Tremblay Bros.
The Tremblay Bros, Christian and Yvonne. I wasn't sure. They are Canadians? Ivan. Oh, maybe. I think they're Canadian. They sound like they have like a French accent.
You also put that they're mega babies and lunatics.
Listen, those were the things that they worked on after this.
Oh, got it. Sorry.
Yeah. I wasn't insulting them, but yeah,
they are kind of a couple of fucking babies.
That's very true.
Make more than 2 seasons. That's all I'm saying.
I know. Come on. Their primary director on the seasons was Robert Alvarez, and he directed some episodes of Samurai Jack, Johnny Bravo, a lot of the stuff from Cartoon Network, Harvey Birdman, Dexter's Lab. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Glenn Leopold was one of the main writers, and he wrote for The New Biker Mice from Mars in 2006, 2007.
Biker Mice from Mars.
Yes, which had a lot of the original voices, which is insane. Lance Falk.
That's one of the anthropomorphic anthropomation cartoons that shouldn't have been remade. Like I throw that in the bucket with like Street Sharks. Like Thundercats should have been remade for sure.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of something else that's anthropomorphic. My Little Pony somehow got made. Yeah,
good.
Anyway.
Yeah. But the final main writer, there are a bunch, but Lance Falk also wrote for The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest.
Hell yeah.
Actually, there's a lot of similar feeling because it's so incestuous. The animation crew is that they would cross over. Yeah. It was such a tiny, tight knit group. Well, you say actually you blame the dudes for not creating more than 2 seasons, the Tremblays for not creating more 2 seasons. Well, you know what?
I'd string them up by their tails if I could.
But they have started a Kickstarter.
Yeah, that is true.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, they started a Kickstarter trying to bring SWAT Cats back. I think they launched this in 2011, maybe?
Wasn't it 2015? Yeah.
Well, I know that's when it ended.
Yeah, but it was only a couple of months, I think.
Yeah, they were going to bring SWAT Cats back. They were going to call it SWAT Cats Revolution. Mm-hmm. Some of the art that I had seen that they had posted, it looks pretty much like kind of where they left off. Like it really didn't look like a reimagining or like a revamp at all. So that was kind of fantastic and true to the cult following behind it. They raised $140,000.
Damn.
Unfortunately, it looks like it kind of ran out of steam. So I think we're kind of all in limbo as far as where they are with that.
Yeah, the sad thing is they took it to WB and they said, hey, what do you think? Do you want to partner with us? We've got this money to make some concept art and animation for it. But they said, you know what? We'll put it back in. We'll keep it back. We'll keep it in circulation, but we're not going to create new episodes, which is such a shame because actually there were 3 unproduced episodes that they made storyboards for. They even recorded all of the actors doing it. So that's sitting somewhere in
I'd love to see an animatic of that.
That would be very cool.
And I think there was even 2 additional episodes that were just in the concept phase.
That's what I've heard. There were 3. Succubus was one of them. Turmoil 2, The Revenge. They were going to bring back the character of Turmoil, which was one of their only female bad guys. And then the Doctors of Doom, Dr. Viper and another one of the doctors, one of the alien doctors, I think, was going to team up.
Of course.
Unfortunately, now, do you want to bring it down? Do you want to hear how this all ended?
Yeah, I guess we could. I think there's a few pieces that we missed really quick. And
sure, yeah.
For this section, we could throw this back into just like setting the scene when we're talking about Megakat City.
Yeah.
But the sky is green.
Oh, yeah.
It's not blue. It's always green. The only time they show it as being blue is when they had like a green thing that was in the foreground that they wanted you to focus on. And they just didn't want it to be lost. But yeah. Green sky.
We don't know who started the war, but it was us that scorched the sky.
It's stained it green and we'll never wash it.
That's right. Oh man. Did you notice that the cars looked a little bit like the Batman animated series cars, like weirdly retro?
That's one of those weird things, and I would say that Batman the animated series is kind of falls in line with this too, where a lot of things look like old timey, like the cars and like blimps, but they still have like super futuristic things like computers and androids and
hovercrafts
and hovercrafts.
Yeah. And they all had gull wing doors. I wonder if that was easier to animate.
You know that Tesla is bringing that back. I've seen a couple of their cars that have that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
It is the future and the past.
Oh, cyclical.
Oh shit, we're gonna be cats soon.
I always loved that every single bad guy, actually including Farrell, would always say those meddling SWAT cats.
Yeah, yeah. He almost thanked them one time.
Yeah.
But he can't because he's Dark Cat.
And they saved him, something like that.
They saved him all the time.
Of course.
Time.
Yeah.
A couple of the backgrounds from Megakat City, I've definitely seen reused before in Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, that's cool.
Especially in the first episode where they fight the Rabot. But I'm pretty sure I've seen it a couple of times, and I think maybe even in a couple of other Adult Swim shows.
Interesting. Well, they got the rights to it, I guess.
Maybe.
One of my favorite, I think it was the first time that Dark Cat.
I wish it was called Death Cat.
That would have been a better name. One of the greatest quotes is he drops a bomb and Razor is riding it down like Dr. Strangelove. Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Lovejoy.
Who's Lovejoy?
Reverend Lovejoy from Simpsons. Yeah.
Shit.
But
not him.
He says he's trying to disarm the bomb. And so he says, piece of cake. Just remember, always cut the red wire. And then he opens it up and they're all red wires. And he says, oh, Dark Cat, you miserable psycho. It's just the greatest delivery. Oh, my God. That was my favorite line of the whole series. Oh, my goodness.
Now we can talk about how it died.
All right, let's do it. So it became, like I said, it became the #1 syndicated animated show in 1994, and Ted Turner owned Turner Classic Movies,
wonderful
TBS.
Man.
Just a lovely dude. Turner Entertainment, and it produced and aired the show. And he was quoted. He actually went in front of Congress during the whole.
Talked about the SWAT cats.
Yes, to talk about the SWAT cats. Weirdly, he like subtweeted them.
Piece of your notes because it's gigantic. What is there, like 4 sentences in this paragraph?
Just about. It's.
I see a 7 in here in brackets. That looks fucking long. I don't want to have to cite something.
Read the footnotes. But he went on record in front of Congress in an interview and said, "We have more cartoons than anybody."
Sounds like. Sorry. And you know what? I've never heard Ted Turner speak. I only know him from Family Guy.
Like a bisexual.
Christopher was right for once. This is what Ted Turner sounds like.
Primarily children watch cartoons, but adults watch cartoons too. In fact, on the average evening, more adults are tuned to the Cartoon Network than are tuned to CNN.
Yeah,
we have more cartoons than anybody. The Flintstones, the Jetsons, the Smurfs, Scooby-Doo. They're non-violent. You had thrown
in one that nobody knew. The Squabble-Lots.
I don't even know what we create. They're non-violent. We don't have to worry that we're encouraging kids to kill each other like some of the other cartoon programs do. So did
he like roll his eyes or did he hold up a picture?
He held up a snorts. Picture. Oh. But like he threw them under the bus. He was displeased with the level of violence, which is to me insane comparatively now. But I suppose at the time there were a lot of, I mean, the Ninja Turtles, even though some of them had knives, they would never cut a person open. They would never slice a head or an arm off or something like that, unless it was a robot.
Cartoons, they wouldn't.
But the unfortunately at the time there was a lot of problems that Congress and a lot of regulatory boards were saying, no, that's way too violent. There's implied death, so you can't do it. You can't freaking do it.
And then 6 years later, they were fine with it.
Pretty much.
You know what changed everything?
What's
Mortal
that?
Kombat.
Oh, hell yeah. Put up with that, parents.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the story of it. I mean, we'll hopefully keep updated on what's happening. I mean, they keep updating the Kickstarter page unless somebody like Cartoon Network came along, and because I think they must have the rights to it still. What do you think? Or maybe it's on Boomerang now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the only thing that shakes my confidence with that is seeing Aqua Teen Hunger Force with some of the backgrounds for it.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I don't know where that sits right now. Would I like to see it come back? Yes, but just in the concepts on the Kickstarter, I would be worried that it wouldn't take off and be successful. I think the people that donated 140,000 would be the primary audience that would be watching this.
It's true.
I think that just looking at new shows that are on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon right now, they have a weird like tongue-in-cheek kind of action and mostly comedy and like very memey kind of feel to them. I don't know if SWAT Kats fits in this time period right now, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, they've taken the teeth. As much as funny as Teen Titans Go is, I mean, it's definitely not the original Teen Titans where it's actiony.
No.
They have any real...
It is fucking hilarious, though.
It's great. Oh, my God. You showed me the movie of it. I was so happy that we watched that.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, is it going to go in another cycle where people want more action-type shows? I feel like it's got to, right?
I think that's one of those things where I think the only way that it would relaunch is if they re-released the original series on like a Hulu or a Netflix and people started watching it and liking it. Yeah. And then possibly it would get picked up by one of those
streaming services.
Yeah, streaming services. And I would love for that to happen.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I think without some kind of revamp, I don't know if it fits. I think it kind of lives in our nostalgia.
Well, and you're right. The formula has changed quite a bit. The monster of the week type thing isn't necessarily how they do it anymore. Or, I mean, they still kind of do, but I think there is more of an overarching story because this didn't really have much growth throughout it, would you say? Like the characters, do you think they grew?
No. Yeah, I'd say pretty much no growth.
It was pretty much, except for Dr. Viper, whenever he would grow. But
yeah, and that is something that I actually appreciate about cartoons these days. Like, even though there is, that meme feel to it, or it's not the same as what we grew up with. There are arcs to it, and there are at least jokes that build on one another. So that there is some kind of like progress or like reason to watch everything, rather than you could just kind of pop in and see whatever episode in whatever order.
I wonder why people were so drawn to the everything's all right at the end of the episode and nothing is different in the next episode format. Why that was so popular in the 80s and 90s.
I think
even
it's
before
Ted
that.
Turner's speech to Congress exactly is that violence in the 90s, I think through the Bush era, the better Bush era. God, that sounds so fucking weird to say. Yeah, better.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, no, he was better-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. So, God. I don't even know if I want to continue that thought. But yeah, it was war on drugs, and like media was starting to become more expansive and capturing a lot of like violent crimes that were happening. So violence in TV and video games was something that was a concern. So yeah, I think that had to have been a format that was demanded in that time. And I don't think it was until later on did we get kind of some real stories and arcs and storylines. Definitely past the turn of the millennia.
Yeah, they just wanted everything to be okay at the end of, don't worry, don't deal with any very special episodes or anything like that. We just want to...
Which is not healthy, I think. Yeah.
Bring a little realism, bring the world into your art.
Yeah, bring some emotion out of your viewership. Like, make them think about things. Like, things are not okay. You should be working towards a better world. How about highlight some of the shit that's going on?
Yeah, and I think that would be a fascinating way.
We are on the verge of Mega War 7.
That's or Mega War 1. You don't know.
You're fucking right.
It's coming. It's gonna happen, man.
Well, Cat's alive. How are we scoring this one?
Oh my goodness. I'm really glad I rewatched this. It is one of my favorite from that time period. It's not nearly as groundbreaking, I think, story-wise, but I think the art and everything is really fun. I'm gonna give it 7 litter boxes.
Damn. I don't know if that's a bad score because it's litter boxes.
Clean litter boxes.
Yeah.
It'd be good for them. They'd love a litter box.
I'm gonna score this purely based on my own personal experience and nostalgia. It's not encompassing of how introducing this to somebody who hasn't seen it would feel about it. So
of course,
and that's the format of the show. And everyone else, you could suck it if you don't like it. I'm gonna give it 8 octopus missiles.
Missiles, yeah.
Just rewatching it, I think when I come back to something, like when we're doing our episodes, I'm always bracing myself for what the 80s or 90s treatment of what I thought that something was. Yeah. But this was surprisingly gritty. It wasn't as like polished or smoothed over as I thought, like the Ninja Turtles. The Ninja Turtles was kind of like jarring for me, like how bad it actually was.
I agree.
I think that for the most part, it was time well spent per episode. Like aside from some of the like bogus like inciting incidents to like start a plot, most of the time things are pretty well shot. The dialogue is fairly tight and moves the story along.
And the dynamic of the characters is really fun. I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think honestly, like for what it is, Jake and Chance have fairly good chemistry together. It feels like a buddy cop kind of situation, and it works really well.
Yeah,
Even the love triangle aside with Calico Briggs, who's so hot and curvy.
Smoking cat.
Yeah. And the designs are fantastic. Like even first season, which I didn't like as much as the second season designs, still pretty good.
It's building
color
on
design, visuals, fucking fantastic.
Yeah, very unique. Cool,
8.
man.
Giving it an 8.
Well,
8 out of 9 lives.
That's so close. So close to 9.
Holy shit, you were almost there.
Oh, man.
How did you lose that first life?
You know what's funny to me is, sorry, just to wrap it all up. The funny thing was that they had that concept, and I wondered to myself, because we never saw anybody other than the extras die. Yes. Do they actually have 9 lives?
I honestly, because nobody like focuses on that, maybe. I don't know.
Who the hell knows? Yeah. So many places this could have gone.
It's true.
Oh, I miss it. All right. Well, that is the wrap-up.
Yeah,
and we would love to hear anything that you have to say about this show.
Anything. Is anybody listening?
Please. We've got an email address.
We got a few emails. We got a few emails to us.
No, go ahead.
It's mostly spam.
And Josh in there. Josh was wondering about our audio, but
yeah. Fucking Josh.
But if you want to email us, we've got an email address. Did you know they give those out? outofmemorypod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at at outofmemorypod. And at
Gmail. And tell them the password.
Don't tell them that. Oh no, don't do it. And you can always subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. Actually, we got a YouTube. So
also look us up on Hulu Plus, Pluto, FarmersOnly.com.
Crackle, Funimation. Do it.
Funimation. Crunchyroll.
Yeah. And we will see you next time on Out of Memory.
Goodbye. Good day. Good cat. No. Do we know any cat jokes to go out on?
Bingo.
Nope.
What was his name? Oh, that's a dog. Oh, no.
Holy shit. We found the dog in this.
But Jake always says bingo. So
he does always say bingo, but why does he say that? Because it's just a safe thing to say.
Yeah, I think so. Like, rather than fucking awesome.
Fuck yeah. Well, I think if they're going to write a show that's true to cats, I think the cats would be more like, fuck yeah.
Fucking clawsome. Oh, there we go. This episode
I have cat AIDS. Enjoy the cat AIDS.
Oh, God. This episode was clawsome.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What's a cat's favorite book?
What is it?
The Great Gatsby.
Oh, there we go. You got any more?
Yeah, I got one more. Okay.
What
do cats like on a hot day?
What's that?
Mice cream cones.
Mice cream cones. Oh my God.
I think that's it. Oh, wait. This is perfect for Farrell. How do felines maintain law and order?
How?
Law enforcement.
Law enforcement. Oh, man. I'm glad we got through this entire thing not talking about lasagna or how much we hated Mondays.
Oh, man. Yeah, how about we talk about some shitty cats for a second? Go ahead, go. Heathcliff.
Heathcliff Garfield.
Nermal.
Nermal, that bit. Odie
Tony
is
the
the
Tiger.
only good part of that. Grumpy Cat.
You don't like Grumpy Cat?
I mean, he's kind of just an extreme Garfield.
How about Nyan Cat past the first 10 seconds?
There you go. Hello Kitty.
Hello, Kitty.
Sylvester.
Yeah, I don't
course.
really care for Sylvester. Tom, I would even say.
Sylvester.
Tom could be anything.
Yeah. I very much like Daffy more than Sylvester, I would say, as a foil. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see that. I'm glad we're recording all this.
Oh, definitely. How about Cats the Musical?
I haven't seen it, but I don't think I would ever go to it, but
Yeah.
it does look interesting.
How
How about Schnarf?
Schnarf.
Schnarf.
Was he even a cat? I mean, he was their version of a cat,
He's like
right?
a lizard cat. I don't know what he is.
Yeah, bizarre. Oh, the
Yeah.
Cheshire Cat. Did you say that?
No, we could definitely say the Cheshire Cat.
He's
How
kind of
about-
the
how about
coolest out of
Figaro?
everyone. Figaro.
Doesn't
That's
add to that
right.
story.
Oh, Tigger? Is he? I mean, he's a
Oh.
tiger.
Yeah, he's a tiger. I like Tigger though.
Yeah. Oh, wait. What about Azrael from Smurfs?
I like Azrael better than the fuck's his name? Gabriel. No, what's it? Gargamel.
Gargamel Gabriel.
Gabriel,
Were you
whatever.
thinking about the?
Thinking about,
The
it's a
angels?
Christian thing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. Cat Stevens.
Cat Williams. Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah.
The show is over. Wait, I think that would have been Ray Romano, who I also hate.
No, but everybody loves him.
Nope.
The end.
Yeah. All right, we'll stop recording.
All right. Highway to the danger zone.
Gonna
Take
take you
you right
right
into the danger zone.